Okay, so we don't have to enter the email address.
All right,
All right.
good evening. Going to call to order this meeting of the Town of Oakham FinCom on Wednesday, September 10th at 7:04 PM. And in attendance with the FinCom, I have Vin Fiucci and
Claire Hendra.
then we also have the courtesy of the town accountants being here.
Lori Barkus.
And we are also in the esteemed company of the Board of Selectmen and team. If you want to go around and introduce yourselves.
Don Epikowski, Chairman.
Dennis Bergen, clerk.
Michael Brunel, Vice Chairman.
Maribel LaRange, admin to the Board of Selectmen.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for being here. Out of respect for everybody's time, we will try to adhere to our agenda. And these are the current items on the agenda. So if I will remind you as we go through, if we start to digress. And we are joined by one other FinCom member. Please pull a chair on up wherever you want.
Don, do you need to put us in session too? We're
Mhm.
joint.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
The Board of Selectmen meeting September 10th, 2025 at 7:05.
All right. Good evening again. Does anyone have any public comments, inquiries, or correspondence? I checked the mailbox and saw none. FinCom members?
No.
No. All right. The FY 26 year-to-date spending. Lori is here, so she can answer my first question I had. We got our most recent report.
Yes.
It formerly would say period, and now it just gives us a start date of July 1st all the way through the June 30th.
Mm-hmm.
If this is periods 1 and 2, which the email came out on September 4th, then we're running a little above budget. If this is 3 periods, we're running.
So the
Little
way that this one works, and we can change it if you'd rather, is it actually goes through the day that is showing at the bottom of your report.
Okay.
And it would go through the last warrant before that date. So this one technically, I think our last warrant was like the last day of August. We can change it and make it so it is a strict monthly.
Would that be easiest for everyone on FinCom?
If you could do it just monthly, Lori, for my purposes, it's fine. I don't know about the other department heads, so for FinCom, month end.
Well, we're gonna switch it for everybody because
Okay.
we don't do special.
How much you want to bet they just look at it at month end too?
They were used to getting it at month end.
Okay,
So,
And that's not a problem.
nope.
yeah, month end. Thank you, Lori.
Mhm.
Excellent. And then Claire, did you want to run us through the overspends that you found probably?
Well, actually, I have a couple questions for Lori.
Sure.
Because the only one that was overspent was a small item in the library, but I have a feeling they just didn't get the right figure for it. It was an association fee. And overall, they're in the plus for the budget, so we don't worry about that until the whole expense budget starts to run into the negative. But I was picking up some stuff, Lori, that I wanted to ask you about. So let me find an example. I'm going to go to treasurer. And I see this line in a number of places. So in the treasurer, there was a line added. It's the budget line 8,000, so 01-145, 5,300, 800.
Yep.
And it says ECN FY 25.
Mhm.
So I figured this was from fiscal 25.
Yep, so those are encumbrances.
Okay, did the folks send you a reserve to reserve the funds?
Yes,
They did.
yes.
Okay, so then the only question I had, or actually it was a concern, is that it shows in the budget for fiscal 26.
Yes,
So what'll happen is it's reducing the budget that they sent us.
it is not.
It's not.
No, so the way that these work is they have to send a request in
Yeah.
fiscal year. After fiscal year 25 ends, they have to
Right.
send a request that they have a bill that hasn't been paid after the final 25 warrant.
Right,
I approve it if they have money left in their fiscal year 25 budget.
right.
Then I create an account number in fiscal year 26.
Yep.
and reserve money in 25 and carry it forward into 26.
I'm with you.
There will be a budget number in fiscal year 26,
Right.
which is carried forward. So it doesn't reduce their 26 budget at all because the money is coming from 25.
I
It
would,
has a zero right now because I haven't closed the books yet.
okay, because I saw that it reduced the balance for their account.
It currently looks like that,
Yeah,
yes.
and then that'll reverse out.
It will as soon as I can close the books because I
Okay.
post everything at once.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking for.
Mhm.
Okay, that's,
Excellent. That's why we asked, one of the big reasons we asked Lori here was to iron out these
okay.
little wrinkles.
Yep.
All right, so, okay, so that was really the only question that I had. Everything else, it's early in the game. It's early in the game.
Brad, did you have anything? No. Vinny?
No.
All right, and I think the biggest outstanding item that we wanted to cover with Lori was town accountant responsibilities going into budgeting season, Board of Selectmen responsibilities, Board of Selectmen admin responsibilities, and FinCom responsibilities to make sure we're all on the same page to make for a smooth FY 26 end and FY 27 start.
Yes.
Did you want to speak first on that?
Sure. So just kind of what happened last year was everything just kind of went really fast and no one knew who was responsible for what. I ended up doing the majority of the work, which I don't mind doing. However, being asked for stuff the day before or the week before, especially large projects, I can't do. Just because, as you know, I work for 5 other towns. I do budgets, I do budget requests, I put the budget together in other towns, but it's planned ahead, so I know what I'm responsible for. So I just kind of wanted to figure out what we wanted to do for this year. Prior to last year, Alan was running it, Alan just ran with it. I wasn't really involved, which was fine. But going into this year, I want to figure out, who wants to be the one sending the requests, who wants to be the one gathering the requests, putting it all into the spreadsheet, putting the articles together for the warrant, that kind of stuff.
Can I raise my hand?
Claire,
So I was on FinCom for 10 years. Okay, so the way that we had always worked it, and I wasn't aware that things were changing, was that after the first of the year, sometime in January, because we want to get 6 months, I like to see 6 months worth of history at least of how the spending is going. And then, so this is the way it worked, Lori. Donna Kuchar would prepare the budget requests that would go out to all the department heads.
Mhm.
And if I remember the format and,
Claire, just for those of us, for the record,
Yeah.
who don't know who Donna Kuchar was,
oh,
let's just use titles if we can, or at
he
least
was our
add the
town
title.
accountant for
Thank
many, many
Thank you.
years. Okay, many, many years. Okay. So our town accountant would prepare, at that time it was sheets. And it was so now let's say we're in fiscal 26. So we would have fiscal 25, I think it was the budget and the spending. And then fiscal 26, the current year, and it was the budget and the spending to date. And then there was a column for the departments to fill in what they estimated that they were going to need. And then there was, we were asked them that if there was going to be an increase, to explain. And if there was anything unusual that they needed in the budget, to add a line and to explain why they needed it.
Mhm.
And then all the information was sent back to the town accountant. And at that point, it was put together and Donna would put the revenue together. Okay, and the only reason why Alan was doing the revenue was because the last year I was on the committee, we had a change in town accountants. And that town accountant was picking up the work. And the software that the accountant used and the software that the treasurer used were not the same. And there had to be data mapping from one system to the other. And there was no data map left behind. So he was trying to figure out what the data map was. So because I have been on it for 10 years and because Donna would go over the revenue figures with me and I knew where she was getting them from, I had told that town accountant, I'll do the revenue. And every time I do something, I'll check with you because really the town accountant is the person that would give us the revenue. And I wanted to make sure we were all on the same line and I didn't want to screw up. So I put together the revenue figures, worked back and forth with that town accountant, especially on local revenue. And then we had the budget information from the departments, we had the revenue, and then from there we would step forward. So then we would start to call the meetings with the departments to try to make sure we were prepared in advance with questions and stuff. After looking at the budget reviews, and we would have the budget meetings with them, and then we'd start to put together the budget.
And I think that meshes up very well with what the Mass Municipal Association and
And the law, I gave a copy of it to,
the DLS guidelines were.
yeah, and the law. There's, I can't remember what chapters it is in the Massachusetts general laws, but I found them, I gave them to Mayor Bell today.
And so Lori and I had emailed back over the last year or so as the process went on,
Yeah,
as I didn't want to see her take on anything that wasn't
Mhm.
possible for her to take on.
yeah,
And she was always very forthright and clear with me what she could handle, what she couldn't. And I think Claire explained it similarly to how I saw
yeah, the flow.
the flow. And going into January, if FinCom, is everyone in agreement with hearing how Claire's saying?
The law says 10 days after the end of the year, calendar year, not later than 90 days before the end of the fiscal year, you should have your information back from your departments and be doing the budget. And so it gives you this huge time spread.
Yeah.
But I think January is good because then you have, by that time, what do we have, 9 months of experience, 6 months?
Corey, do you have
6
a
months?
copy of one of Alan's former timeline schedules?
We do, yes, yes.
So I'm perfectly fine with doing what I did last year. I just want to get an idea of what the timeline is for everyone.
Yeah.
Also keeping in mind that this year, as we said last year was the last year you were going without an override. So you need to be well aware that you've got to put the numbers together early, finalize them early, so we can project the override.
And and in addition to that, Laurie, this year, I want to ask people for a real budget. I don't want, this is, whatever you had last year is what you have this year. I don't want pie in the sky. I want the department heads to be told, you are to give us a realistic budget. And the reason for that, Lori, is I'm figuring that's going to be one way we can measure between the budget and, level funded, as opposed to what we really need. And we can begin to see what the gap is, so we can start to develop how much of an override we're going to ask. Plus, it starts to give us I hate to call it the story because it has such a negative, pejorative, but the narrative that you have to produce for the people in the town, that this is the gap that we have. This is the budget that people need to make the town work. We've been holding them to a level funded budget for what, 10 years? At least 10
At least,
years,
more
at
than that.
least, yeah. And we've been holding them to a level funded budget for 10 years. That has precipitated them being unable to hold to the budget, coming to us, from what I understand, because I haven't been close to this, but in the fall, after cash certification, saying they can't make it through the year. Then we dip into certified cash, which we should be using for the next fiscal year. And now we got ourselves in a loop that we're just losing ground.
Yeah, so big picture task wise, we're all on the same page of the budget requests. We're comfortable with them asking Lori to do that for us. It's not.
I have, oh, absolutely not.
Not FinCom pushing out
Absolutely.
budget requests.
No.
And that's okay with you?
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yep.
And Laura, you have no problem putting together the revenue figures, right?
I
'Cause
do
you-
the revenues every year.
Okay, because you get on the DLS and get this stuff.
I've done the revenues here since we started.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yep.
and,
Appreciate it.
and, you know, they give that range in the law, 10 days after the end of the calendar year to 90 days before. Well, you know, in January that would start to give us time.
Mhm.
That would give us time.
Yeah.
But I think it has to come from the selectmen that they give the direction to the department heads.
Mhm.
Realistic budget, not pie in the sky, realistic, because we need to see what it is we really need.
I would make sure you really stress realistic budget because we already know the override figure is 170,000. So anything that they project over level funded is adding to the $170,000.
Where's the 170 coming
That's your
from?
free cash that you've been supplementing your
Mhm.
budget with.
Yeah,
So your override is starting at your free cash number. So
Okay.
anything over level funded is adding to $170,000.
you know, I hate to break this bad news to you, Lori. I know it'll probably get you really upset. But we had always had to apply free cash to make it through.
I know, but every year you apply more and more free cash. And the problem is every year you're getting less free
We're getting
cash.
less free cash, you're right,
And
yeah.
this year you
yeah.
are probably going to get very little free
Free
cash.
cash, okay. So, and I am dead set against using free cash that we certify now. That's why I want to talk to you guys about taking money out of stabilization, okay?
I mean, realistically, you don't have free cash.
Yeah.
Oh, good, okay, so that settles that argument right
Books-
there.
Your books aren't closed and you don't have free
Yeah,
cash.
yeah.
So to
When
finish.
will that
sorry, go ahead.
happen?
That's a discussion that I guess can't happen during the budget discussion. So
Okay, so finishing up the tasks that we're looking at. So Lori's graciously offered to take care of the budget
Yep.
request. She
Yeah.
does revenue for us and she'll assemble the budget.
Yep.
So.
And then it
one
goes to
point
the
of-
selectmen and to us, so
Yeah,
we
so
both do
Claire-
it at the same time.
So
Yeah.
Claire, one point of contention, we want to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
that we are all on the same page. I liked the idea of sitting in with Board of Selectmen as they spoke to each of the departments. You had weighed in with a slightly different opinion. Would you
Yeah.
care to expound?
I like to reverse that because it was always the finance committee that was responsible. I have absolutely no problem with the select board sitting in, and in fact, part through the budget process, I would like to stop and meet with the selectmen so we can get your input on what's going on and share with you what we're hearing as well, so we can all be on the same page.
So Don, what's your understanding of that law?
As a former department head, I can tell you right now, I would rather meet with both boards at the same time. One presentation, ask your questions, they can ask their questions, and get it over with,
I have no problem with that, Don.
right?
I have no problem with that. Yeah, but I don't want to see us sitting in the audience. You're up here with the
Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're up here with the selectmen and you're asking questions too. We've
Every-
got to
every
make
time
sure
we
we
get a
kind of nail
quorum, we
this
sit up
baby
here.
down.
We did that. out
So-
there.
So we're on the same page with joint meetings.
Yes.
then.
That's okay. I'm fine with
Yeah, a lot of
Oh.
times it was joint meetings,
Yeah, don't
Joint
worry.
meeting.
discussing the budget with the
Yeah.
department. Yeah, absolutely. Did it
The
years
only
ago.
caveat that I
Yeah,
would have you take under consideration is when you have a department that wants a capital expenditure, say a piece of equipment
yeah,
from the budget. I think at some point, I think the board being in charge of the department should have a really quick yay or nay, whether that's legit or whether it's, I want it because I want it.
well, definitely, we need to have.
I mean, before it even gets to you folks, depending on what it is.
Well,
I mean, if
if
it's
you wanna
legitimate, it's gonna fly right up to the
Well, I would
finance.
think that you guys are supposed to meet with the department heads, right? So I'd imagine you kill it right there when you meet with the department heads. I mean, I would think it wouldn't even come to us, right?
Well, there is a balance because there may be a justification for what they're asking for.
Mhm.
But in certain circumstances, at certain times in the past, it's been, geez, do they really need it? No, probably not. But they ask for it anyways, type of thing.
All right. So what I'm saying is I hope you guys address that in your department meetings. with
I know
them.
one department had.
So I don't
the
see
same
it.
Piece of equipment for about 10 years and kept telling us it was on its last legs and wasn't gonna make it through the year. And
Oh.
we still had it running at the end of 10 years.
So just for clarity,
Yeah.
it
Running
needs to be
fine for
approved by
that.
the Board of Selectmen like a capital, something like that before it can go to FinCom?
Not necessarily approved, but that we have a
You
look
weigh
at
in.
it.
Yeah, you
before we
definitely
shoot
weigh in.
Something off to you
Yeah,
folks.
yeah.
That isn't gonna fly, most
Yeah,
likely.
yeah. Yeah,
Um.
I
It's,
certainly would. Yes, there's no problem with that, Mike. There's no,
because I don't want the finance to go down the road trying to figure out how to finance something
Yes.
that's
yeah.
isn't really required or needed, or
I
you
would,
know exactly what I'm talking.
I know exactly what you're talking about. No problem at all, Mike.
Don't
That's
forget
no
her
problem.
job description in there in the budget has her coordinating with the accountant.
Right.
On all this stuff, so we would know that ahead of time.
Yeah,
So FinCom, did anyone have questions or concerns about the budget process going forward? We're on the same page. Board of Selectmen and team, you guys have any concerns about us moving forward as a united front, basically?
No, I think we should be united.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think
In
it's
the
gonna be a
past,
rough
it's been a
year, so
Massive problem.
the reason we're having this discussion is because it's looking like a rough year.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure we're as best as possible on the same page, not to say conflicts won't come up. And then Lori, did you have anything you think that we should discuss to smooth the process for you? How can we make your job easier?
I don't think so. I'll get everything ready. And then once I have everything ready, I'll get sheets ready and then I'll put the final numbers in the beginning of January. And I'll coordinate with, Maribel to get whatever, letter she wants to go out. And then I will probably give her the sheets. So that way the actual requests come from the select board, but her letter can indicate that the return comes to me. So that way
Yeah,
I'll assemble everything, but
Yeah.
that way the request actually comes from the select board.
yeah. Okay, all right.
That's excellent. And
That's
then
good.
that's all I have on that. And so if you want to look ahead, Lori, you're welcome to stay, but we're moving on to Pathfinder assessment
Yeah,
and
you know
versus
what?
tuition in, Claire.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. I forgot to print it out. So I'll email it to you, but I did take a look at that and I wanted you to know that I'm really glad you asked that question. Because I found out that the way that the min contribution is figured has changed. The state's changed some of the how they actually figure the min contribution. So, yeah, so it was a good lesson. It was a good lesson. So if our assessment for Pathfinder works this way, there's a minimum contribution that we have to pay. So what happens is the state determines a minimum contribution, and it used to be that it would look at the total number of students in OCAM, and it would say 10 are going to Pathfinder and 200 are going to Quabbin. So divide 10 by 210, and that's the percentage, and that's what your min contribution is. But they don't do that anymore. Now what they do is they go by what your foundation budget is per student. And they figure out 10 students going to Pathfinder times the foundation budget is X. 200 go to Quabbin, Y. And of course, Quabbin is less foundation budget by about $4,000 than Pathfinder. So the percentage of min contribution going to Pathfinder now is higher. And it's eroded into Quabbin. That took me by surprise. Okay, so yeah, I don't know when the change was made, but the change was made. So anyhow, so our min contribution last year, fiscal 26, from Pathfinder was $218,465. That's dictated by the state. Over that amount, to meet the budget at Pathfinder, was $38,034. And we are assessed the amount of money that they need over the money that they're getting from min contribution, Chapter 70, Chapter 71, and all the other state money. We're assessed at 2.56%. So whatever is left over in their budget that they have to cover, we pay 2.56% because we pay based upon the number of students from OCAM as a percentage of the students coming in from all the regions, and there are 9 regions in Pathfinder, and we are tiny compared to everybody else. So our assessment is 2.56%. That came to that 3834. So our total assessment last year was $256,499. And that includes everything. That includes transportation. So if I divided that by the number of students that we had, which I think was 16, I'll look at my calculation here, 16,
That's the current enrollment.
Yeah.
16, okay.
then we actually were paying $16,031 per student. If you're not part of the Pathfinder Regional School System, then you come under Chapter 74. And now you pay tuition in. Tuition in is $20,986 per student. Plus transportation, because now you have to arrange the transportation. So what I did was for the OCAM assessment, I took out the transportation, which was like $3,000 or something. It wasn't big. And then I said, okay, I'll take that out of the assessment and then I'll divide that by 16 students. So that came to $15,208 compared to tuition in $20,986. And that's why there was a big rhubarb. Do you remember that, Dennis? There was a big rhubarb in the town about why are we tuitioning in our Pathfinder students? That was costing us money. Why were we not joining the region?
Yeah, we joined when I was on the board.
And that's why we joined,
Right.
because it was.
It was-
weighing on the
Well,
It was costing
we had a
more.
spike.
Yeah.
We had a spike in students attending Pathfinder
Well, and then
time,
at this,
if I remember right.
I don't remember ever seeing any more than 16. Honest to God, Mike, I don't. I never seen, and the 10 years that I went to the Pathfinder meetings, I never saw more than 16. Usually went 14 to 16. 14 to 16, but I never saw more.
So we're still in the black by staying in with Pathfinder?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, let me also alert you, because I asked the Pathfinder for the revised,
Right.
yeah. And nothing changed, except that we showed that we were part of the amendment. To get out of a regional school agreement, all 9 towns must approve because of the financial impact that it has on them. They don't approve unanimously, you don't go.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Is that all you?
Same
had on
thing
that
in
item?
Quabbin, same thing for Quabbin.
Is that all you had on that item, Claire?
And that was it, just that Mike had asked me, and so I put together those figures. you
So
know.
Did he-
Claire, what's our, and you probably didn't go that far into it. But the lower the student count, when does it reach a point
Break even?
or it goes into a negative? Based on, say, we only had 3 students going in a particular year versus 16.
I can do the break even. I'll do a break even.
The other part of joining Pathfinder at the time was Pathfinder was getting kind of filled up. And they were starting to say, if you're not a member and get to a certain number, you may have kids that can't come here. So we were gonna have kids that wanted to go to a trade school that couldn't go.
The other thing is if you ever pull, first of all, you have to pull out of the regional agreement. It has to also be approved by the state.
Absolutely.
The other thing is, don't ever think you're going to go back in.
If
Because
you manage to get out.
you will not be going back in.
Unless we have a lot of money.
No, you won't be going back in.
They won't take you.
They're not going to take you.
They won't.
They're going to send that message, or else they're going to have every other region pulling out. They won't take you back in.
I think that's a really valid and point that we should take into consideration. for
No,
sure.
you
But-
have to think about those things.
But with the birth rate, that's gonna be a dynamic to see how it's gonna play out in the future
Right?
if the birth rate keeps going down.
You got me.
Yep.
You're right. I keep saying that birth rate's going down. So I will check for you. I meant to, and you know what? I forgot. To tell you the truth,
I'm sure that's a calculation they have on the Pathfinder School Committee that I'm sure maybe not keeping them up at night right now, but
Yeah.
in the future.
Well, you know what the issue is with the technical schools is that the population is going down, but more and more kids want to go to vocational school
Mm.
because they have an assured career path.
Right.
And it's it's not looked down on. I remember when I was in school, people say, oh, kids going to vocational school. Not now,
Sorry, Claire, we're getting off the numbers a
Yeah.
little bit.
but I just wanted to assure them, there's a lot of kids that want to go to vocational
Right.
school.
The next agenda item we had was actually paying down the debt, which was the municipal building and the fire trucks. And Claire had looked into that first as well.
Yeah,
Do you want to speak on that?
Lori, I'll tell you, but, because I know you brought the contracts.
I did.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
against it. I'm not sure why this is even getting brought up.
Well, it was a question, and so I felt that I should give an answer. So I couldn't read the contracts because I know that you were able to get them for me. But when I had talked with, Sarah, she said, the municipal building, no, that kind of a loan is not that you prepay.
You can't
Yeah,
prepay.
you can't prepay it.
And I think I'd mentioned that and I
Yeah.
couldn't remember from the
Yeah.
nineties.
Can't prepay it. And also I looked at it and I said, right now we're paying about $33,000 a year on this thing. Let me pull it up because I did have, thank you very much, Dawn, for sending it to me. But I had, your information, yeah, and I think it was 4.787 was the interest rate
Mhm.
for the municipal building. And the last loan we took out for the truck wasn't much different than that. So what I'm looking at is that the truck is coming up to be renewed.
Yes, shortly.
Yeah, real shortly. It's coming up real fast
Yeah, in
Right after
November.
in November.
Yep.
And so my suggestion, and that's why I gave you these sheets, is that we take $200,000 out of capital stabilization and we pay down the truck and we finance the rest. Now, Maribel and I we're trying to get educated, Lori.
Oh, I agree. I saw all your figures and maybe I could move this, and make it
Okay.
a little quicker. So the USDA loan for your municipal building, it's a locked-in 39-year loan. You don't touch them. You can't touch them. They're not early payoffs. It's debt excluded. The fire truck, yes, we're on 1-year bands. It's up for renewal in November. For this year, we should be converting to a 10-year loan, long-term. It is debt excluded. It is, in my personal opinion, after doing this for so many towns for so many years, it is a huge waste of your stabilization funds to put a large pay down on a debt excluded loan. It's just, you have other items, which I saw on your list of must-haves, needs, that are large dollars. I think it is a waste of your money to put down $200,000 on something that is debt excluded.
So let me ask you this, okay? So comes at a time when we don't have people's budgetary requests.
Mhm.
So aside from the highway truck, which a lot of it is being paid out of Chapter 90 funds. And it looked at the initial figures that we got at a selectmen's meeting that Pat was only gonna need maybe about 60 grand.
It's actually less than that.
And-
Claire.
And that
So
is
50.
if that gets approved by
Right.
a state engineer, they could reject it altogether.
Okay.
I
So,
believe he's already got approval from.
So if he has approval, he has
Mass DOT.
not sent it to me. So in my eyes, it is not approved.
okay.
Well, I think
Alright.
he's waiting the outcome of this little get
Yeah.
together.
The other thing I'm thinking of, Lori, is, and so now I'm sitting on the fence because, from what you're saying, because we don't know what other people are going to come forward in budget for capital items.
Yep.
Okay. So, if we don't want to pay down $200,000, but we want to save that for maybe some other capital items requests coming up in the fiscal 27 budget, I'm good with that.
I just think just because we deferred every single article from fiscal year 26 warrant, we literally did the budget and a handful of other things that we could pay out of old articles. We paid for nothing else because we had no money. And knowing that realistically, any free cash you get, you're probably going to put in your budget if the override fails. Because, it's a small town. I've done overrides. I've watched them fail. I've watched them pass. I just got results of an override 3 days ago, where we broke it up and said, we want this much for the police station, we want this much for the school, we want this much for just general operation. One out of the three broken down things passed. The other two failed.
So
They funded the police and they did not fund the operations or the school. Odd, yes, but now we are short. So we are going in slightly deficit for the rest of the year in that town.
So we would have to take that type of financing out of the general stabilization as opposed to the capital stabilization, right?
So normally when you do stuff like that, capital is reserved for capital
Right,
items.
right.
General is just for anything.
Right, right.
Yes.
So Claire, did you do the calculation if you did the 200,000 under
Yeah.
principal?
Yeah.
That
Well-
would reduce the interest, which is averaging $40,000 a year right now.
Well, it depends on what we get for a new interest rate. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to, Maribel and I, we got educated.
Mhm.
So here we go, Lori. We're trying out our education on you.
Understand? Yeah.
Is I had remembered when our former town accountant, two town accountants ago,
Mhm.
when I would be working with her. And I said to her, how do we finance capital items? And she said, we go to the state and roll our bond needs in with the state because that way we get their bond rating.
Right, because we're not bond rated.
Because because we're too small. So I asked that question of our DLS rep because I said, I remember this, am I fantasizing this? Okay,
You take out what's called a state house note.
exactly.
Yes.
And they gave us the name. They said, you contact this person. The state has been set up to do that stuff. You don't get a bond rating. You're too small, costs you too much money.
You wouldn't have needed a bond for something like this anyways, so we would actually go through I'm hoping, I've reached out to the treasurer, unfortunately have not heard back from her yet. We need to reach out to our financial advisor and get bids from banks for long-term debt. We also need to get the current rate for the state house note. The state house
Okay,
note is
okay.
not always the best rate.
Okay, so we would do a comparison of the two.
Yep, sometimes there is a single bank, Greenfield is generally
Mhm,
pretty
that's what
cheap.
we have.
East Hampton is generally pretty cheap. And sometimes they'll compete just to get money coming in, and try to knock maybe 1/4% off of State House note. So we do bid it out. We can take out another 10 years. If you're allowed to take out the lifespan of
Of the vehicle.
the state depreciation schedule, we've only taken 2 years so far, so we're well within for a fire truck.
Would we go for 8 or would it be for the 10?
I'd probably suggest going for the 10,
Yeah. Okay.
based on the dollar amount and our current budget, but we can also look at the price on an 8. Your interest will be nowhere near what it is right now. Anyways, we're paying high interest right now because we're taking what they're called 1-year ban. Bans are always heavy interest. It's about half of what your principal payment is. And it's because they're giving you short-term 1-year loans. And you either at the end of the 1 year, you renew or you pay it all back.
And that's basically where we're at, 80
Yeah.
in principal and 40 in
Yep.
Yeah.
interest. But over a 10-year period, that 40 is
that's
going to be,
And so we're not going to see the
You
40
won't see
though.
the 40
no,
again.
well, hopefully it drops way down, but over a 10-year period, you're looking at quite a bit of money.
So I heard, for summarize for the record, the municipal building is off the books,
It's
off the
record.
table.
It's off the table.
Claire, do you want to make a motion for FinCom to vote on paying down the fire truck or not? Because I'm prepared based on what I've heard to vote on that.
Well, so the question is, we pay 200,000 down.
Mhm.
We're gonna say even at 4%, that's $8,000 a year interest, whatever the principal is. At what point is it worth doing that
So
to try to limit what we have
Well,
to
here's
do in
the,
tax increases?
here's the other angle I'm
There
coming
is no
from,
tax
Laurie.
increase.
Hmm?
There is no tax increase. It's
Yeah.
debt excluded.
No, I don't mean
So it's-
on that. I mean, we're gonna need, we're talking about an override.
So
To balance the
the
budget.
fire truck is already
Paid for,
included in your
yeah.
tax rate.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's debt excluded, so a certain amount is added to your tax outside of the budget.
No, I understand that, but I
Yeah.
mean, if we pay some down, then we've got that much more cash.
No,
No.
No.
Another way
We're not paying it out.
I think what you're
No,
saying,
no.
Vinny, is if you pay that down,
oh, so
you,
I get what he's trying to
Yeah, that
say.
doesn't go into excess.
That will,
No.
You
that
only can raise the tax.
the
but
debt
not you
exclusion
will.
part will drop.
Yeah,
Actually,
That part of the tax rate will
you're,
drop.
if you paid off the whole thing, your 1155 per thousand, the valuation right now
Hmm.
would drop by that amount, whatever that works out to.
Right,
And then when you go to do your debt exclusion, you can come back up to
Over-
that
override.
1155 and an override.
Yeah.
And there'll be a little less pain
Hmm.
to get to that top number.
right.
Is kind of what Claire and I had talked
Yeah,
about before.
yeah.
And at what point is that worth doing?
My fear of this, and I've been thinking about it a lot. And at first I thought, maybe it's a good idea, but looking at these numbers, the capital stabilization, general stabilization is two different accounts.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't want to drop them too much because we don't know if something major happens
Mhm.
and we've got those accounts dropped way down and we end up with almost nothing in there. That's not good.
And
Basically,
and we
uh,
haven't put much into them in the last few years.
Right.
Well, you can't afford to, right? So here's the other thing I'm thinking of, Laurie,
Mhm.
going along that line. You know, if you're going to go for an override, and I think I had said this before privately between you and I would choke if I had $1.2 million in savings and I went to the town and said, oh, and by the way, we need a tax increase. I would choke.
Well, the problem is you really should never put stabilization money in your budget.
I'm not asking to put it in the budget. That's why I'm saying use some of that money to pay down the fire truck.
But in the end, the fire truck makes zero impact to your budget. You can say you're paying 150,000 out of raise and appropriate in your budget, and it washes right out in the revenues.
I understand.
And it makes zero impact. So
I understand.
to take like Dennis just said, to take that amount of money out of your savings account, the only money you guys actually have, and use that to pay off a debt excluded loan does not make any sense, where you've been using every penny of free cash every year and you have no other available money.
The town residents have already spoken in support of the fire truck. They approve that debt
Yeah.
exclusion. I think we need to respect.
That's not, but I don't think that's the issue. I think the
Yeah.
issue is how much you're holding in stabilization.
No, and the other issue is, like we've talked about, is you're gonna be spending interest on this total amount. And if you pay it down, you're gonna have a less of an interest charge. It's gonna pay off sooner. Hopefully, or at a lower amount.
Lower amount.
And then that gives you room in your budget.
We can look, so when we refinance this year,
Yeah.
we're gonna be refinancing at 662,000. That is.
Is
what
that
we
how
owe.
much it is? 662?
Yeah, that's what we owe and some change.
Okay.
Is
So
that
we
minus
can-
the 18? Was that taken already care of, that minus 18,000 that was?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're gonna refinance at 662. What we can do is I can run numbers with the financial advisor to see
Okay.
what the payment would be and what the payoff would be if we ran down to 7 years. What would the interest difference be? 7
Okay.
versus 8 versus 10. Like I said, it's debt excluded.
Yeah.
So even the interest is factored into the debt exclusion.
Yeah.
So that part doesn't affect our budget either. It goes
Yeah.
in and out as a wash.
Yeah.
So, but if we can lower the interest and not increase the amount that's hitting the tax rate, then we should be fine.
I think what these guys are saying is if we did that and drop that part down, the override would be maybe a little more palatable.
That's exactly.
That's exactly what I'm
Exactly.
saying. I'm just trying to make it palatable because.
I mean,
it's
in
gonna
the
be a
end, it's up to you
battle.
guys. You can take general stabilization money to pay this down. You don't have to use capital. If you want to pay it down, you just need to think ahead of what is upcoming and the fact that you have not put money into stabilization in probably the last 3 years.
I'm not in favor of using stabilization just
Yeah.
because of this building. Anything goes wrong in this building, there's a couple $100,000.
Right.
Now that is, I would take that out of general, well, you could take it out of capital, you're right. But even if we, let's say even if we paid down 100,000 on the fire truck, well, I had 200,000 remaining in your capitalization. I was using old figures, Laurie, from May. I don't know if
Yeah,
I figured they'd be the same, right?
they're close.
Yeah, I figured, we would still have 200, I think we have 420,000, 400 and some odd dollars in capital stabilization.
You have Currently have 484,000 and some
Oh.
change.
That's a beautiful number. Okay.
484
484.
In capital.
capital. Yeah,
Yeah,
So this is awful.
yeah, 484.
what exact numbers
No.
there.
Yeah. So let me just,
35.
you know,
Yeah.
go to state, oh, okay.
What about, general?
Okay.
General, we have 625, 206.
That's a-
Yeah, 625. That's a
Mhm.
little bit more than what I had, Lori. I'm gonna use an even 625.
All right.
Don't,
Okay,
on this sheet, it says retained and borrowed on the, fire truck.
yeah, I had,
Borrowed 850,000,
yeah,
borrowed spent 832, 644, left the balance of 17,355. Is that what we repurposed
No, that is
in the
money,
budget?
that's money that the treasurer over borrowed.
Yeah.
The money you're talking about was the article, different money.
That's not it.
yeah, the 17,355 was, I saw you borrowed 850, but we only used 832 for the fire truck.
There's,
So there was extra money left over.
yeah, just for clarification, we borrowed or we voted 850
Yes.
Yeah,
because the way the fire truck went down, they got a truck that was made for Vermont, but it was the wrong color. It came in under the 850.
Yes.
yeah.
That was the money we repurposed, correct?
No,
The difference.
no.
It was the stabilization 100,000 that
Mm-hmm.
we pulled out.
This 17,000, that is the difference. We were allocated 850 to borrow. The fire truck only was 832. The treasurer for the last 2 years has renewed the borrowing 17,355 too much. We are currently
Right.
holding $17,000 of the bank's money, and this year we are going to return it.
Okay, yeah,
Because we are paying
Okay.
interest on money that we
Right,
never
can't
needed.
use, Right.
Exactly, we can't use it.
so is that part of the 85,000 we're paying this year in fiscal 26?
No, that's just our payment.
That's just the payment.
Yes. We don't return the money until we return the ban.
Okay,
So the
gotcha.
ban,
Yeah,
at the end of the renewal, you return all of their money.
okay,
So when we return the money, we'll be returning $662,000 to them. We're currently holding all their money.
okay. So we will return 662?
Yes.
So I think Claire and Mike both have, their concern, I think, is valid in that it's the optics of it.
Yep.
But I'm hearing from the financial expert that dollars to dollars, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but I don't live here. So in the end, I don't live here. I don't know how people are going to accept the override. Like I said, I've watched them fail. I've watched them pass. The ones I've watched pass is honestly when we have to threaten people with the closure of town buildings. Other than that, they don't tend to pass when you just call them operational overrides, because in the end, people look at them like, well, are we just talking about a raise for your employees? Because, well, I didn't get a raise this year at my job. Or are we talking about, a couple extra, pieces of paper and a pencil? Because, well, I have to bring those from home for my job too. When you just call them operational overrides, I tend to see them fail.
Well,
No, we passed an override by one vote. One stinking vote.
Mike,
Claire, I think if we had been able to pay off the remaining 13, 14 years on the municipal building.
Yeah.
I think we could have done that as a loan. But where you can only pay a partial
It was,
On the-
it was more than we would have been able to pay.
between,
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to pay the full amount on. The principal is 290, and then you're gonna be paying the interest on $290,000. And so it was a huge chunk of money. It certainly was a lot more than $200,000.
so with the.
but if you paid it early, you wouldn't be paying the interest, would you?
Oh, no, you pay the
You have
interest.
to pay the interest.
You gotta
you're
pay that in,
responsible for.
yeah. you gotta
Because of
pay
the
the
structure of the loan.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
We
you
didn't know that at the time we talked.
Yeah, yeah,
So the refinance
Yeah.
is coming up in November, and I
Yeah.
heard Lori kindly offer to run the numbers to check
yeah.
the idea
Well,
of
Lori-
paying down 200.
Even if,
400?
yeah, if we, 100 to 200,000 out of capital stabilization.
I mean, I will, whatever you guys are comfortable with is
Yeah.
up to you. And like Don said, you just have to remember, if something goes wrong here, that's where you're pulling the money from.
Well, I think it'll help us to see the numbers
Yep.
because the 40,
Yeah.
from personal experience, seeing loans, I understand what you're saying. The
Mhm.
40,000 is not a number we should expect to see
No,
going forward each year.
Yeah.
And so I I am currently personally opposed to the idea of using the stabilization to pay down the fire truck because it is debt excluded. But I think you guys bring a good point about the optics of it.
I
And
am,
Brad, you
yeah.
had something to say?
And do we have debt that's not debt excluded that we're paying interest on that we would put the money towards instead?
No, everything is
10.
debt
We
excluded.
don't have any other,
No.
debt. We have
Yeah.
these two.
Yeah,
We
We're
only
very
have
lucky.
three,
we can't afford it, Brad.
we only have the three and one pays off next year at Quabbin.
Quabbin pays off next
And then the municipal building.
municipal building.
And like I say, when we first talked, I couldn't remember what we structured it with back in the
Yeah,
nineties.
yeah.
It's one of the reasons we did the fire truck debt excluded is because the town was in a healthy position that we did not have a lot of debt. So,
We could
all right,
never
that takes
afford it.
those items off
I
the
mean, if we're
agenda.
gonna have a strict budget,
Right.
we're gonna ask all the departments to give us a
Something
realistic
realistic,
budget, and if
yeah.
it goes above level, then can't we do a separate vote for
Yes, you can.
an
for debt
increase per
exclusion.
department based off of
Oh, you
what their
absolutely
needs?
can.
Yeah,
Because then
yeah.
everybody in the town can decide what they think that
The
we're
money.
increasing it for the fire department. I mean, the fire department and I believe the police.
So
Well,
the
stated
town-
a lot of it's
The
training
town of
stuff.
Dudley just did
And
that.
that's
for
why
them.
it's higher. It has
That's what
nothing to
they
do with
broke
what
it
they're
down into
doing.
They did, so they broke out fire department override, they did a public safety, police override, they
Yeah.
did a public works override. And people, they picked and chose.
Yeah.
So some passed, some didn't. They did a school override, they had, it was called an à la carte. They had 5 items. Unfortunately, not everything passed. But that's how they do it. It tends to work better that way.
But when you separate
Yeah,
it out.
right.
Is the
Separate
fire
it.
department able to say,
Yeah.
this is why we need it, and people can
Yes.
understand and
Yeah.
make a.
Yeah.
Well,
A better chance of passing too if you
And I
break
don't
them
see
up
why wouldn't you
separate.
just do that.
now the other thing we kind of held everybody to this year, the Board of Selectmen, was
Mhm.
no line item transfers. So I think this year versus the year before, there were very few. Because we had a healthy
Yeah,
turn back of the reserve fund, Finance Committee Reserve Fund
yeah.
versus, what was it, 200 something?
Oh, I see what you're
before.
saying, Mike. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
But that's kind of where the accounting is
Yeah,
when everybody starts moving money at the end of the year. To, from pencils and pens to oil filters or
but I,
what
think
it,
yeah, but I think that you can move it from line item to line item expense because it's a wash.
In their own budget.
It's in their own budget. It's a
Yes.
wash. It's only when you move it from.
right, but when they
you said
submit
about
their budget,
Outside of their own budgets. yeah.
Outside their own budget.
when they submit their budget, so they
Yeah.
submit it by their line items.
Yeah, they
within
do.
Their budget
Yeah,
with their numbers for
they do.
each
Yeah,
line item. So,
yeah,
yeah, it's a wash, they have a total budget,
right.
but they up it here, they up it here, and then they transfer from this one's, because it's got a lot of money in it.
Yeah, and I
So they
have,
move it to something else.
yeah, and from my standpoint, I'd rather leave my budget the way it is so I can see where I go short, because next year I know I underestimated that line of the budget.
Don,
Just want to ask Lori, Lori, should these department heads be doing a zero-based budget this year?
That's up to you guys.
What do you mean by zero base?
Not a zero, prove every single
Oh.
line item on why you need it.
We've done it in other towns and it does work. Because then you can see what makes up each line.
Right.
Because like you said, they are overspending within some of their lines
Mhm.
and not spending in others. But
Mhm.
when they submit their request, like last year, we asked them to level fund, they just put the same number and they still overspent the same lines and didn't
Yeah.
spend other lines.
Yeah,
If you ask them to do a zero-based budget, then you can actually see, well, you don't have any costs for this one line, but yet you have $5,000 here.
Mhm.
And you have, $10,000 worth of costs here, but you're still funding it with $250.
So highway did do that
I think it's,
this past
Kevin
year,
did it,
huh?
Kevin did it.
Patrick, did.
Patrick.
I think it's. a
he
good
moved.
idea.
Oh, yeah.
He looked
Pat
at, he
did
actually
the
went through it
budget,
and looked
yes.
at it. And he made some reductions and he moved where he thought he needed more,
Yeah,
took it from this one, put it in that one.
so it came up previously at FinCom meetings.
Yeah.
Suzanne, a former member, was a big proponent of it. Somebody always had a counterpoint and I don't remember what it was. Does anybody at the table remember why
probably the departments didn't want
It's
to
a
do it.
lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It is a lot
I
of
remember
work.
You have
Suzanne's,
to look at your budget and you have to see what you spent and really is that what you're gonna be spending? It takes a lot of time.
I do remember Suzanne calling out
Yeah.
a department head or someone saying, I looked at it's a 5% increase, just flat rate, like there's no,
There's no
you know,
thought.
thought
There's
behind
no
it. It's just.
thought behind
So
it,
it's
yeah.
5%
It's a lot
increase
of
across
work.
the board.
But with the new software we have, I can print them details for each one of
Yeah.
those lines that shows them every invoice that went in with every cost. I mean, it doesn't tell them what was paid on each invoice, but it tells them like, you went to Hampshaw and bought, $80 on this invoice number. So someone, a department head, should be able to go through each one of their lines and say, okay, well, these are actually accurate for this number, this account number. And yeah, this is my costs for 6 months. You could do it with the last software. It didn't,
Well,
it
this,
wasn't great reports. to
this
work.
software is great because you can see in the detail who you spent it on.
Yes,
You see that detail, which is
Mhm.
great.
so this would be a
It's
great
worth
year
the
to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's really worth the effort, especially if we're asking for a realistic
Mhm.
budget.
So I think the FinCom can only make a recommendation on that. The Board of Selectmen would be the ones to enforce it. Is that correct, Don?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I recommend it.
Well, I think we're at the point where we should talk about the highway department truck. since
Yeah,
We've alluded to it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Or the $200,000 and the thought is spend down the fire truck. Do both capitalization funds, are those both receiving the 5% interest right now?
Oh, good
Or is it-
question.
they're about the same. They're about the same, I think, because the municipal was like 4.787. I didn't have the last interest rate on the fire truck.
It's like 4 point.
The actual interest rates we're paying,
Yeah,
Interest
yeah,
occurring.
on the fire truck. I had an old agreement.
You're not talking
I think it
about-
was 4 point.
so not the
So
interest,
I'm
rate,
referring to what the capitalization is.
what we're accruing in the bank.
Correct.
Okay,
Oh,
that's what I. thought
He's
it was.
asking because some of the money was invested.
Like
and-
if we're gonna take out $200,000 and it's 5%.
Our rate of return right now is 2.83.
Oh, well, forget it. Why bother?
So that's our interest rate. And then we get market gains on top of it. So we have to call when we want to see the exact number.
Okay,
The interest rate is 2.83 with the market gains. They end up teetering around like 4.9, depending on the market. They've dipped as low as 3.7 this past year.
That's about a lot.
So
Yeah.
it is about a wash.
Yeah.
The interest rate on the USDA is 4.75. The interest rate on the fire truck is 4.84. So it's
So I don't
pretty
mean
much
the
all the
interest,
same.
interest, I'm just curious about the accrual, like, and if we paid it down, like, we might be saving some, but taking that away.
So we
To get
lose
that
more
back
than
via the
gaining, yeah.
3% that we're getting, it's gonna
Mm.
take how many years?
Mm.
And if we do want to pull from stabilization, if we made a decision now, or thought now to say this 3% over the next 5 years, what it accumulates, we can put that towards something.
So in
That way
our.
we're not actually hurting our current state.
Where we are right now in general stabilization,
good point.
we make
Yeah.
about $7,300 a
That's what
quarter.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And we make about, capital, we make about $4,500 a quarter in interest and gains.
So together around 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're making 48,000 a year approximately.
Yeah,
If we're thinking this building's gonna be a problem over a period of time, if we know that that's what the interest is going towards.
Have you been
We're never
upstairs?
actually taken, huh?
Have you been upstairs?
Not yet.
You don't see that.
That's a joke because it is a problem.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just, but it's, at least we can assume that we're taking it from that and then we won't have to ask
Yeah.
for an override 5 years from now
For this.
because of this,
Mhm.
you know.
You also-
Well, you will have to ask for an
Oh, yeah,
override.
But it's an intentional thought now for later.
You
instead of
will.
Taken from now when we weren't figuring out.
you need to keep in mind too, that you have depleted your police vehicle account. So you have no money left in there where you used to put in 11,000 every year. So on year 5, you had the vehicle money. You
Right.
have no money in there. You haven't put money in.
For the record, could you let them know how much we put in this year
That would be zero.
and last year?
Zero.
Yeah.
All right.
We haven't put in since the last year we bought a vehicle. So currently you have
Mhm.
$2,500 in there. You also
Okay.
depleted the assessor stabilization account when we took the 15,000 out this year. So all you have in there right now is the interest that you earned last quarter. So you have $4,300.
You know, we always put in X odd amount every year because we were building it up for the 5-year reval.
Right, which we took out for the reval. We took
Okay.
out the 15,000.
So we're starting from scratch again.
Right, but we should have contributed to all of these accounts this past year.
We did not.
So we
Naughty.
started the school stabilization account and I cannot, for the life of me, remember the purpose.
Oh, because Old Camp Center School needed
The roof.
some,
The
well,
wall was
the
really
wall,
easy.
the gym
Something.
floor,
Still
there's
waiting
a
on
lot of
third
things.
quote for
Uh,
that.
That was the kind of thing I would go for debt exclusion.
But we contributed the one time and then we never did it again, so.
Oh.
Move forward?
Yeah,
I would go for debt exclusion on a roof.
Well,
Rather than-
the-
The
it
roof-
wasn't the roof per se, it
The
was like
roof
the
was
heat,
done
because
peak or the
13
walls
days.
or
snow falls
something.
down, yeah. So they had like barriers up there and trying, but there's a lot. There's the gym floor, there's the gym wall.
So we have to
The
keep in mind, we
pavement out
have
in the back.
costs we are responsible for, and we have the accounts that are supposed to have money for them that currently have none. So that would be a shuffle when we had to
We have,
use those monies.
but in general stabilization, we have how much?
Currently you have 625.
So we're holding $600,000 and I think it would cover that. Because
Cover the
we're not
wall?
pulling,
Well, we're talking about pulling 151,000 out of that.
no,
That's capital.
no, that's capital. Capital is 480.
No, general.
No, we're not. Capital, out of capital. Fire truck out of capital. That's the capital
Oh,
expenditure.
okay.
Yeah, you,
I thought you
you,
said general to,
no, I'm saying if you pull it out of capital
didn't you
improvements,
say didn't you say general has 625?
Generally,
Yeah, yeah.
625.
Yeah.
so that has 625, but we're not taking the fire truck out of that, or we're not thinking about taking the fire truck out
Oh,
of
but
that.
we're gonna we're thinking of pulling 151,000 out of it for legal and
Right,
treasurer.
Well, yeah, I wanted to
That's
talk to you about
what
taking
sounds-
that out. Yeah, uh-huh,
And highway.
yeah.
And we got 484 in capital. And we're talking about pulling 260 out of that.
That's right.
So that's a little bit higher, so it'd be like 224 left.
Don, what
And
number do you
capital.
have for feasibility study to add to what the state may or may not come through with?
State voted 25,000.
That was 25,000 was what they,
Right,
We asked for 50, but they gave us 25. Rutland's feasibility for 3 buildings was 33,000.
that's cheap.
Yeah, I thought that was cheap for feasibility.
Bill was
study.
estimating 75,000 for this.
Yeah, I would think that too,
No,
because this is major. They're gonna be talking about all new electric.
they're talking
Nope.
3 buildings.
Yeah, I know, but this one is in pretty sad shape.
The buildings are bigger than ours. And
which building's
Yes.
done?
Yeah,
to rebuild that
yeah,
building over there
yeah.
was more expensive than building a brand new one.
No kidding, huh?
They were shocked.
Oh,
Was that the town hall?
Yeah,
I guess,
That's a
it's
big
demo-
building.
I guess you have to add in demolition and carrying out the demolition
And it's
stuff,
old.
right?
and it's old.
That's an
Yeah.
old bill. I don't know
Yeah.
how old, but it's an old building.
Yeah.
All right, you want to discuss the highway department vehicles?
Okay,
Today,
so,
we had an email from Patrick
Let's-
today. Claire, did you read it?
no, because I wasn't home.
Okay. So he was,
But I sent him something last night.
so he did apologize for not being able to be here.
Yeah, I
Vinny,
think he
did you
was
read it?
responding.
You
Yeah,
want to give us
Yeah.
a summary?
Well, it was a little hard to follow in places.
The summary I would give, and then Vinny will weigh in, is basically the highway department has 3 6-wheelers. He said, we're the only town in the area that doesn't have a 10-wheeler. There are savings to be had based on the tonnage you can carry. And he'd
I
like
have
to
hated
buy,
that statement for the entire time. Everybody else has one.
and he'd like a 10-wheeler. And I'll let Vinny go from there.
Well, like I said, I'm trying to
While you're.
make my way through his numbers because he's,
And he wanted to pay a lot of it with chapter 90. I didn't
Right.
see a request to the Board of Selectmen for,
If I can clarify, he's looking,
Yeah.
say for the 10-wheeler, he's looking at a price of,
324.
that's total.
Oh, that body, no, actually, no, it's,
So the majority of it is going to be chapter 90.
Yeah.
DOT.
so what does the 324,000 cover?
well, 324,000 is what he gave us?
oh, and then it was another
I'm taking
50
time
for
off.
the plow and wing package.
Yeah, but it's not 324.
No, it's not. But at your selectman meeting, he gave us these figures and I'm hoping it matches with his.
So the ones that we just printed
Yeah,
That's
are the accurate.
I just have
Figures.
emails.
Okay.
I don't-
that are
can't remember
from
my work ones.
the truck dealer and
Okay.
Yes.
so
He said he started
Okay,
with,
this is,
he's starting with $275,000 in chapter 90. Is that still agree?
that's his current balance.
Current balance
That's not what he's expected to receive.
minus 150,000 he's expecting for the road work on Barry Road and Ware Corner Road.
Right,
Give me a balance of 125,000 that he still has in chapter 90 in his account.
and he's expecting 425,000
So I said,
sometime this fall.
okay, so that brings me up to 550,000. I hope
Correct.
that these are getting close. Then he said a cost of a new Ballard Mac was 175,
No, he has here
203, 130.
203. That's pretty
chapter
close.
90, truck, body, and whatever expenses, cost of a new Mac in it with a full 84-month warranty.
Yeah. How
And
much?
basically, what that covers is if they have to come out and run diagnostics,
Hmm.
it's covered for 84 months at no charge to the town. Or if they have to tow the truck to the Mac dealer or,
Plus we got
So let's add his
got
numbers
another
together.
50,000 more
Yeah.
on top of the 324, so it's 374,
Did he say,
324,
oh,
190.
375. Yeah, but you,
He is right here.
the plow,
yeah, it's 324, 190 plus 50,000.
50,000.
Five.
The 324, 190 would be from
Stable.
Mass DOT,
Right.
that's right.
chapter 90 money.
Yep. Hmm.
And then that leaves him a balance, and he hasn't put in his balance going forward over the next 4 years
And he said that's going to be
per
325,000.
year.
Yeah, per year.
So, the cost to the town out of stabilization for the plow and the wing package
Yeah.
is 50,000,
Okay.
$35.
So I had figured 60,000. I think, so he's coming in under,
Less.
yeah, it came in less.
Now, he also said that getting a six-wheeler is a slight difference in the minus, but the snowplow package
Yeah.
would be exactly the same.
It was about what, 35,000, I think, less total.
No, I think the difference between the 10-wheeler and the six-wheeler was
15,000, he said at your meeting,
15 to 18.
15 to 18. And he said he wants to do the stainless steel body.
Right, because those are
Yeah.
readily available.
Yeah.
He goes with a steel body, which probably won't last as long.
Right.
Salt, they have to build it.
So he said, okay, and he said that would be between 15 and 20,000. I figured 20 because, you know, it's always more.
He's actually got a number in here.
Okay.
So what is the total price of the truck?
$44,000 difference roughly between the six-wheeler and the 10-wheeler.
How's it go with the 10?
I don't have that packet, so I don't.
I just got these as I walked in the door.
Yeah, he left them for the
Is
selectmen.
Total price of the truck with the plow, 374,000?
That's what how I
Is
read
that,
it.
is that what you said? Yeah, because if so, these numbers, they don't match up on the sheet then.
Yeah, those
They,
aren't the same numbers as. we
Yeah.
Put together today.
324 plus 50,
yeah.
So where did these
370.
come from?
roughly
Those
375.
were clear.
I-
This was based
And
upon
he
the
dropped
selectmen
these-
meeting.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And he dropped
Based
these
off
off for the
selectmen
selectmen,
meeting. Yeah.
I guess this afternoon.
The email came in.
Personally, I'd like to go over these numbers a little bit,
A little bit more thoroughly, yeah.
Yeah,
I was coming down to thinking that,
because we do have the savings of the pickup
yeah,
versus delivery.
right.
That's in here somewhere.
But that's all coming out of chapter 90, right?
Yeah.
Except for the 50,000 for the plow.
Except for
So
50,000.
either way,
Yeah.
whether you've got a 10-wheeler or
Yeah.
a six-wheeler,
Yeah,
the cost to the town is gonna be $50,000, $35.
yeah,
The plows, the plow frames, the controls for those,
yeah.
everything else is covered under chapter 90.
So I figured, if I added what I was suggesting to pay down the fire truck, and I understand Laura's argument because it is a valid one. Plus $60,000, I said, okay, that's $260,000 coming out of 480 capital stabilization, leaves us with 220. Now, the reason why I was working those figures is, okay, I put aside 220 in capital stabilization. Then I looked at what we might need to take out of general stabilization. Now, I figured fees are 75,000 legal. But you know something, Don? I have a bad feeling in my stomach. That's too low.
Can I ask one more,
With
before we get
counsel.
off on the highway truck? If these numbers are accurate, he's gonna almost deplete his chapter 90 money.
Yeah,
If
that's,
if he only wants 60,000 or to cover the price of the plow, 50,000, his chapter 90 balance is gonna be $175,000 after he pays for the truck.
No, it's gonna be over 400.
No,
Yes,
calculating this out right here, he's.
yes, but that's not what's coming in.
I feel like-
No, it has the 425 coming in. He'll have a balance of 550 with all this year's revenue added in. Take out the 374. He's gonna have a balance of 176 after he pays for this truck.
And then he gets another 325,000
The
fiscal
following year.
27.
Fiscal year 27.
Yeah. So I think he's running it down, but then he gets
But they
an
also
influx of
had-
325.
Maribel, what was the?
I'm going on the fly
The
here
extra
because
money
these
that
are the
was-
numbers
Yeah.
he gave me.
I agree with you a little bit.
I-
Oh my gosh, Don,
I
what was that
thought that
called?
coming in here
The
tonight.
additional money, but that is with the inclusion in with that 400 and
The
something.
425 must have the additional money because
Well,
you guys have
that
never
was-
gotten
what was it
425 as your
called?
allocation. Rural roads.
Right, and we haven't
I said
received
it's my
that yet,
tongue.
to my knowledge.
Yeah, you guys.
Roads.
What do we usually get, Lori?
Rural roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what it
Rural
was.
roads
but
and fair share.
Fair share,
share.
fair share,
The
yes.
425 has to include all that because you guys don't get 425 a year.
Right, we usually get three something,
Yes.
yeah, 384
And the
or,
fair share in
Yeah.
rural roads is about 90 grand a piece.
Yes.
So the 425 includes both of those.
So
Okay.
he's
is that
showing-
425, is that etched in stone?
No, not until it shows up here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a valid
Because
concern.
I'll go back to when I was on the board before, and Don, you remember this, because you got called in as a department head. We got cut mid-year.
Yep.
They
well,
said,
kind of like the feasibility
hey,
right now.
the local aid we were giving you, guess what? We're cutting in half.
9C cuts.
Yeah,
Yeah, the fair share is a new program from last year. We've gotten it once. You know, they might end it. It was extra money. Rural roads is a brand new thing they're pushing out this year. They might not push it out.
because the state's kind of broke.
Exactly.
Right, and
Well,
that
no,
goes
we're
to
not
show
getting
that-
federal money anymore. And so
Yeah.
they're putting stuff in reserve to pull up the
Right.
balance.
So
That's
the
what's going
425
on.
is not guaranteed
Yeah.
until it shows up here. And again, you have to show your balances when the state engineer approves this. So I mean, to deplete it all the way down to 176.
He's counting on that money coming in, Lori.
Right,
Well, my understanding, talking with him, is he's already talked to Isabel at Mass DOT,
Okay.
and they worked out these numbers. So from that standpoint,
well, it still brings it, I mean, they may have approved it, but it still brings it down to 176. Do we not have any other road projects other than this one for 150 that he's proposed for this year?
well, you're actually you're looking at,
That's all he's proposed so far.
Or Barry
Lori.
and Ware Corner?
you're roughly looking at 550,000.
Which he actually submitted one of them in the warrant this week or some of the expenses.
So,
Has,
but the bottom line with all of this is the two trucks that we have will probably not pass inspection next year.
so we,
They gave them a
One has to be-
mulligan this year.
so you
Yeah.
brought that to our attention, so we're all aware of that. Does the Board of Selectmen support a 6-wheeler or a 10-wheeler?
I don't know. For me personally, I don't know. I want to look at these numbers
Yeah.
I
See
think
the
the numbers
difference,
need to
and
be
I-
cleaned up.
and I
Yeah.
want to go through the difference in the cost between the trucks and what we save here for the pickup.
I think the FinCom, once there's cleaned up numbers and the Board of Selectmen have a direction they want to go, I think FinCom can weigh in more accurately. Right now, with all the numbers I heard coming out, I'm with Lori in that I don't have a clear understanding of.
So, well,
What
really,
we're
the
drawing
real
down to.
discussion is coming from the town is $50,035,
That's right.
no matter what truck you buy
Yeah.
for the attachments that aren't covered by Mass DOT.
Right.
Right.
So then it basically becomes a board decision
Yeah.
as to what we want to expend from stabilization,
And then that brings me back to what I'm,
or not stabilization, from
Yeah.
chapter 90. I'm
Chapter
sorry.
90.
so what I was looking at in terms of
Sorry, Claire. Brad,
stabilization.
did you have something to say?
I was just gonna say, can he wait until
No,
the money's
The,
guaranteed?
the problem is, was
year
it
build time.
9 to 12 months build
Oh, to
time?
build.
So
But you have to pay for it.
if the trucks don't pass inspection next year,
We don't pay till.
we're out of truck before winter with nothing to
That'll bring
replace
us
it.
a lot closer to 2027.
What's that?
How do you get through to winter without the roads
Yeah,
plowed?
the concern is plowing the road in a timely
No, they're
fashion.
saying it's not gonna be ready until after this winter anyway.
Well,
Right.
this
I'm
winter,
saying, so in,
He-
this
it's
winter, he's
inspected for
approved,
this year.
it's inspected
It's
for
just
this
for
year.
next year.
well, I'm
If
just
this
saying.
money from
yeah.
stabilization passes at our special town meeting, the 50,000 for the plow packages for the truck.
Yeah.
And he orders by November 1st, then he should have it this time of year next year.
Next fall.
Well, I'm just saying, but that'll. put it
Otherwise-
closer to the money that we're receiving. I thought like if we bought it now and we were waiting a year and it doesn't show, like, that's all. I got it.
So, so if I say that if, these are ifs, you take 200, now capital stabilization, having 480 in there, 50,000 for the highway truck, 200,000 to pay down the fire truck, that leaves us with 230. And then general stabilization, I was looking at what we might need out of general stabilization, and I have put in rough and dirty 75 for legal fees, but that makes me nervous because
We already got a.
Yeah.
Council at
We,
60.
we met with town council. And he gave us a rough estimate of,
does that include hiring any experts you may
Yep.
need to defend
55
yourself?
to 60. Or
It's even better than Don.
So, but I think we were still thinking of doing the 75.
yeah,
right?
just a
we were
a
thinking
fudge factor.
Well, why don't we put in 75?
If we don't spend it, we can
Because-
always
You can put it back.
put it back.
Because if we need that cushion, we don't want to have to go
You
back.
don't want to go back to
Exactly.
the well again.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at 75, but I was getting nervous after listening to people talk, yeah.
So Claire, I think the last item that you wanted to bring up was the treasurer's salary. You hadn't
Yeah.
touched on that yet.
Yeah, I'm working my way there.
Okay,
All right, that's next.
so let's do it.
Okay. So Lori, I was trying to figure out how much more money we might need for the treasurer. And boy, that is like taking a dart and throwing it at the dartboard.
It's all gonna depend on what happens with the actual treasurer position. If you continue with the interim, if we can find an actual candidate. There's slim pickings out there. I know I'm doing this in another town and I'm getting the people we've already interviewed here are the ones applying over there. So it's slim pickings. So it's honestly, the cost is gonna be determined on what happens with our current interim, which brings me to the sad fact that you have $5,000 left in your budget.
Is that
And
all that's left now?
you are going to have to tell her that it is going to have to be, unfortunately, until the special town meeting, she's gonna have to do payroll, cut checks and deposit payments only, which brings Ben's original question of free cash. It's
That's
not
right.
gonna be certified
Yeah,
anytime soon because she has not been working on fiscal year 25. All of the money has been spent getting caught back up and staying caught up. So we have not made any progress on what happened from February to now. And we are no closer to closing the books than we were before. So the
That was-
$5,000 is honestly might already be spent because her last bill was only through August.
When does that put us in trouble with the state?
You cannot not have a treasurer.
No, I mean the certification.
well, it also means you won't be able to set a tax rate.
Well, so
You can't close the books.
okay, so you can set a tax rate.
Oh, we
Um,
can?
Yes, you do a letter in lieu of balance sheet. The problem
Oh.
is we don't have set revenues yet, so
Hmm.
I can manage the revenues for the tax rate. You can submit the tax rate without having the books closed. The issue you have is you miss, when you close the books, you do the balance sheet, gives you free cash, then you do the recap, and then the hard deadline is the Schedule A, which is November 30th. The state gives you a little bit of leeway and they don't send the first like threatening letter until February 1st. And then they'll send you your next one February 27th. What the threatening letter says is we are going to withhold your state aid March 1st. And they do,
Is that all state aid?
all state aid,
So chapter 90?
everything that comes
I'm just
through
making
the
sure it's
state.
clear for the record. So all the money we're talking about for the highway department vehicle and all that, none of it would come through.
All your local aid. So everything that pays your bills every month.
Including the
Because
school.
we don't pay our bills on tax collections alone. So I am hoping it does not get to that point and we can get a special town meeting and get some money set up so she can get the books closed quick. But the problem is, once she finishes her work, I still need a month to do my work.
All right, Lori, let me,
Can the FinCom emergency budget or account, can that be used for that purpose?
It's a gray area, and in the end, the decision is yours.
so Laura, let me tell you what I was thinking. Okay, so I looked at the budget that we have for the treasury. I looked at the balance as of period end August,
Mhm.
and there was 13,500 left, and I'm sure you've cut checks since then.
We have an invoice that
We
I
have-
just submitted for
Okay.
$8,052.
Okay, so that brings it down, okay. So then I was thinking September 1 going forward, I was thinking, I went with the 16 hours a week at $175 an hour. And I was doing the periods 4-5, 4-4-5, 4-4-5. That's the way I was doing it in order to get the weeks. So I was doing an accounting period. You with me?
No, I just go by months. So-
Oh, yeah, you go by
You
months,
lost me at
okay.
Periods. I have no
Okay,
idea what you're
okay.
talking about.
Because
Sorry.
I'm used to accounting periods and we used to do 13 periods, 4, 4,
Oh.
5, 4, 4, 5. So anyhow, I went out through February using that and I said, okay, assuming that we don't have anybody until the end of February, that's going to be an addition of $72,000.
72,000.
I
Yeah.
think that. that's being conservative.
An additional $72,000. And so, I said 72,800 through February if we have to pay and we hold them to 16 hours minus the balance we had at the end of September, 13,500, gave me 59,200 some odd dollars. And then March through June, I was hoping would have an employee. And so I went theoretically $20, 20 hours at $50 an hour.
So through February, if she was funded, when could the books be closed by? At this point, realistically,
November.
November. Wow. So you're looking at
So
35 to
So-
40,000 just to get the books closed so we could get local aid.
Wow.
to put it in perspective, we crunched the numbers at 175 times 12 months through June 30th is roughly 136,000 a year to run the treasury office. And as was stated, we, other than one person who wasn't interested, who may have fit the bill, we haven't had anybody that applying for the job that's been.
On that note, if I may, I think that this is a good opportunity for the board to reconsider or to dig deeper into doing things to make that position a little bit more appealing, where it can draw maybe an applicant, some, increase the hours, maybe 15 hours is not something, that someone would want, maybe make it a benefited position. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we need to explore some
I would
other
highly
alternatives because we haven't
suggest-
gotten.
Claire, do
anything.
you remember when we had two people in the office and how many hours a week?
No, I don't remember.
um,
I only
when
remember
we had
Lisa
two
Taylor
elected.
there.
Yeah, okay.
Dennis, do you
Years back, it
remember?
was Edna and Sue Carpenter.
When they were elected.
I don't think you need two people, but I would highly suggest at
I
this
wasn't
point,
even,
with
I
the
wasn't even
lack-
going with two
Yeah.
people. I was going with the amount of hours.
I don't
each one was
know if
working
it's
in a
so
week.
much.
With the lack of interest in the
Heather
position,
Records.
I would highly suggest reposting it for a 20-hour benefited position. Probably at $45 an hour.
Okay, I
It's
put in
the,
50
like
bucks.
industry average right now of $45 an hour,
Yeah.
plus or minus, with,
The problem is
Experience?
there's not enough people doing these jobs.
there is not,
And
but
I talked to a local tax collector treasurer, one of the adjoining towns. And they had an offer for Westboro. Westboro cannot find,
no one can find them.
he had an offer. We'll send you the contract and you fill in the dollar number.
Mhm.
And he didn't take it.
No one can find them, but really no one is taking non-benefited positions right now.
I talked to a person was on the finance committee in Hardwick and their treasurer left.
Mhm.
They filled the position. I said, how did you do that? She said, benefits,
Mhm.
and they will pick up all training.
Or explore the option of shared services as well. I mean, I know that it's a matter of finding another community that might be able or willing to do that, but I think at this point, all options are.
And by benefits, we're talking health at 17,000 a year.
And retirement.
Retirement.
And so we're talking the OPEB
Mhm.
numbers as well.
Yep. and
Okay.
retirement.
Right, and if you're lucky, you find someone who doesn't need the health insurance, right? And-
Exactly.
and-
Not
But-
everyone takes the health insurance.
But also with that calculation, now you're bumping that up
I was thinking that
To
we
get
would
it-
need at least 76,000.
to get one person.
To get one person, at least
Now-
76,
Yeah.
no benefits.
So now you have to weigh the difference between that amount and the roughly 136 that has a depth to it in case somebody gets sick, somebody goes on vacation. There's somebody here to do payroll. That's
76,000 a year.
that's the problem with a
If we
single
get
person.
someone.
in
but
that
right now,
office.
the
That's
first-
Say
20
that
hours a
again,
week.
Mike, because I'm not sure I caught it all.
Say you went up,
Isn't that like 70?
you throw out a number of 70-something thousand.
I think about, it'd be at least
So-
76,000.
So the difference between that and 136, you're still only getting one person.
That's correct.
That's going to go on vacation, that's going to get sick, that's
That's
going
right.
to,
Should I'll be the treasurer.
right? And
I
right
did it
now
for a
you
while,
have a
you can
firm.
have it.
Yeah.
We do not pay them benefits.
Well, actually, in that 175, you are paying their benefits.
Well,
I know
yeah,
what
but
you're
it's
saying.
indirect.
Yeah,
not
it's
long-term.
indirect. It is, yes.
And then if the one person is sick
Yeah,
and I don't know, say they get appendicitis,
yeah,
but if you have a firm, it has depth to it. Somebody
Yes.
else can come and do
Yes.
the work.
yes,
Well, that person is out.
yeah.
So I just want to ask Dawn, if we have the numbers now, there's $5,000 left for her position. She's going to be reduced to basically just payroll.
Yes, which I've already spoken with her.
Do the Board of Selectmen, have they taken an opinion on how to fund that position to get the books closed?
I was saying
Well, that's
stabilization.
what we said, the special town meeting
Yeah.
to backfill that position.
Yeah,
That's gonna be an article.
We were
Yeah.
talking until June,
till
Okay.
June.
Okay,
Worst case scenario.
So-
worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Because, well, and Claire recommended
Yeah.
in her numbers February. But
Yeah, and then picking
The-
up, I think we'll
the
hire
reality that we're
somebody.
gonna find the right person
Yeah.
that will come
Hmm.
without us putting in a benefit package
Yeah,
and all this stuff is probably not really gonna happen unless there's some kind, two towns approach us to,
and Mike, you mentioned the
consortium.
firms.
yeah.
What about what was your thought on the firms? You mentioned it.
well, that's what we have now.
Right.
Uh,
Are you in favor of continuing that direction?
I am because of the depth that it gives the town,
What do they charge us?
175 an hour.
Okay, and that's what you were using for your calculation.
Yeah, and in that case, what you need is, you're gonna need over $100,000 put on stabilization.
So has the select board given any thought in, if you're thinking of going the route of a firm, giving any thought to approaching the current firm and asking if they, I know we hired them on an interim basis, which is how we ended up with an hourly rate. I have worked with the firm in other towns where they are the same as I am. They are outsourced, which they bill you a flat monthly fee. Approaching them and seeing if they're willing to stay on as your outsourced treasurer collector and negotiating a monthly fee.
A better monthly fee?
Well, the problem is when you hire them as interim, which is the same as my firm, I charge a high hourly rate when I'm interim as or a consultant versus what I do here. You're kind of on the fly. You don't know when your contract's ending. You don't know what you're required to do.
Yeah,
If you approach them and say, well, this is the point we're at now, we're going to pull our job listing. We'd like to negotiate a cost for a monthly contract and do something like that. Is that something you're interested in? And see if you can negotiate the contract to be a monthly contract, because I know that's available through their firm because I work with her in other towns where she is the outsourced treasurer collector.
What kind of money you're talking per month in other towns?
It really, she doesn't dependent on the town, whether she's the treasurer collector. It's fairly similar to what we are. Comes in a little bit more expensive because you guys require on site and I'm not here. So mine is remote.
A little more with the combination treasurer collector?
It's a little more with the combination treasurer collector because you're requiring someone from her firm to come on site,
Yeah.
which adds to her cost.
So kind of a point of reference, I almost called you Randy. We're already doing it with the accountants.
Who'd you call, Randy?
Corey, not Lori.
Oh, Lori.
I
I thought he was looking at the video for a
Lori, not
second.
Lori.
Saw your father.
God. Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm
go on,
okay
Mike.
losing it.
You've had worse insults than that, right?
Oh, stop it.
No, my point is, we're already doing that same concept with Lori's firm.
Okay.
And Lori's firm has depth. So if Lori goes on vacation, there's somebody to get through the week, get through the,
I can't speak for all of FinCom, but I think the most serious concern is closing the books to make sure the the state funds,
oh, yeah.
local aid
Yeah.
continues to
Yeah, yeah.
flow.
Yeah.
And I think that whatever the Board of Selectmen decide, I think Lori has posited a pretty decent solution
I
to
mean,
try to get a better price.
Yeah.
My concern's a little deeper that we're able to meet payroll every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That is the biggest concern.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's something you can't.
I think that's a good point, and I never thought of it. I didn't realize you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something the board would have to meet with her
Yeah.
and see if it's something that she's interested in doing based on her current
Well, we-
workload and transitioning
Because if you,
from.
let's say you said $45 an hour is the kind of the going rate. to
It's
hire
anywhere
somebody.
between 45 and 50. It really depends on someone's experience. We're not paying anyone more than 50 right now.
At 20 hours a week, that's roughly $50,000 a year
Right.
pay. And then what's the benefits? What's
They-
insurance?
Add
cost?
another 30%.
Is that for a single though?
You average about
Is it family or
25,000.
single?
Family.
Yeah, at least
It's about
50%
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the salary.
It's about $25,000 for a benefit package for an employee.
Okay.
So that puts you up.
So you're looking at 75.
Yeah.
76,000.
Yeah.
I would guess.
You're
I will
already
certainly
funded
Probably be
35.
speak with her.
somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm not
So
really
you're-
sure. I know what she charged in other towns, but
You're
there are
at a
towns that are bigger,
60,000
towns that are
difference
smaller.
between
yeah, I would never want to speak for her.
175.
Yeah, no, I'm
Times
just
12
trying to get
Mhm.
a bit ballpark maybe.
We were able to do a
It's narrowed
smooth
up quite a bit.
transition with her from going from
Like I said,
interim
you
to
already have
outsourced
35
when she did this for us in Brookfield,
Mhm.
4 years ago.
So
Since
So
then,
you're
she's
really only
left.
talking about-
We hired a
Another 40.
person years later.
You have to get through the
But-
end of the year, right? And
It
you've
was
spent
fine. She had no problem transitioning from hourly
Correct.
to a monthly contract.
So I guess that would be the first approach is that I can ask her if that's even
Yeah.
something that she
Right. Okay.
can
You're talking
possibly
about
entertain and then
$50 an hour,
come
right?
before the
Yeah.
board and.
Yeah.
Now, the board hasn't had to sit down with the treasurer yet as to how far she's gotten, where she stands. Just because I don't think we're at the point where she's ready to come in and give us an update. I don't know, Maribel, do you have anything to add to that?
Nope. No, she's just working on some past things that I certainly couldn't do. I tried. But she did, the only thing that she coincided with what Lori said was, she's looking at the books probably late October on her end, so.
Brad?
So if we don't want, if somebody doesn't want benefits, could they just get the $75 an hour then instead of?
Well, what are we talking now? Are we talking 20 hours times $50 an hour? I mean, what are we talking now? Where are we?
we can't do that because at some point in time, they might want the benefits or need the benefits.
Yeah,
We have to fund that position. If we say benefits,
right.
by law, we have to fund it.
Okay.
So
Are we at,
But upon accepting the job, can it not be an offer? And if they accept it without benefits, it's accepted without
No,
benefits.
but if then they change their
State
mind,
law
they,
is 19 hours is benefit.
if they get divorced and all of a sudden
20.
needed their own insurance, they are
You can-
entitled. You can't
can
say
put
you
their
locked in.
contract That you can give them a stipend as part of their payroll in lieu of taking the health insurance. And then at a time they can revisit
Mhm.
the health insurance at the end of the year during open enrollment only.
Right.
But
Same
still
difference.
have the,
Yeah. So you're still paying for it, just a different way.
Yes,
But you might get maybe a higher caliber person too if.
yes,
Oh, you will?
yes.
Yeah.
you gotta be careful about the pay equity.
have we reached the end of the treasurer discussion?
No, we haven't. Where are we? Are we at 20, where are we?
Well, is somebody
have
gonna
no
talk
Do you know
to
where
the
we are,
the
Lori?
firm
I have
and
no idea.
Yeah, me
see what kind
too.
of
We
deal?
need money though, that's all.
Yeah,
know we need
Maribel will
money.
touch base, but we
Yeah.
won't know that.
so I can reach out to the treasurer collector, interim treasurer collector, and see if this is even something that she
Right.
Yeah,
would want to have a discussion. I think that would be step one. If
Yeah.
so, then I will bring it before the board and put her on an agenda so she can speak on it herself, not through me. The board can ask her questions
If it's
directly.
a savings, I would definitely be in favor.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, the key point
Yeah.
tonight
Yeah.
is
But we still gotta fund it for now.
we either fund the
right.
position,
Yeah.
agree to fund the position.
Yeah.
at the present rate through February or through June 30th. And
Well, yeah,
like I say, February is gonna show up really quick if we don't
yeah.
come up with a solution.
So you want to,
Then you'll be going back to special town meeting again to tell the townspeople, we didn't ask for enough.
do you still, you want to go then stay with the rate of $175?
I think you have to, because that's what
Okay.
you're
Be
paying.
safe.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
want to go with, stay with 16 hours or do you want to go 20?
I mean, once she closes the books, she
Yeah.
shouldn't need the 20.
No.
Right.
Okay,
We do payroll every other week. We cut checks every other week, and then it's just whoever shows up here with tax payments. It's really not a lot of hours to be put in here.
It is right now. And she even said that.
It is right now,
She-
yes.
yeah, she
There
said
is
that
a lot
When
right
she
now.
came on board, she said, it's gonna be a lot up front,
Yes.
but once they get everything straightened out,
I mean,
it'll be a lot
I will
less.
say, you can see the top of the desk.
That office was scary.
That wasn't
yeah. yeah,
July
it's
first,
tough.
that,
There were a lot of pending folders in there.
All right.
I tried, Michael.
So-
I tried my very hardest, okay?
I'm not even talking about
No,
you.
the office was scary in
When you
December.
moved in, it was like that.
So how much do you want to fund it through and asking for stabilization funds?
I think you need to go on the high side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
I
they said,
think
they're
you
gonna
gotta
go back
bring it
again.
through.
Right through June?
I would go.
Right through the annual
Yeah.
town meeting.
Oh,
in
that,
June.
that looks to me like about $120,000,
That's what
Lori.
it is.
Okay, well, I think we have a number. I think we have a step one. Thank you, Maribel. And I think we have to move on to new business then.
So that's 125,000 and then 75,000 for legal fees for Bess. So we're talking about taking out $195,400 out of general stabilization.
Sorry, you said 120,
It's
75, and what else?
120,400.
Gonna be down
And
to
75,000.
Yeah. And that makes it
Okay.
195,400.
All right, I'm gonna go around for new business.
Before we do, Corey, if I
Yep.
could, and I think you should add in that 50
No, 420.
For the fire truck? I mean.
highway
truck.
department. And I think we've kind of,
We're in limbo.
fire truck and municipal building, we're gonna not do it.
I think we had asked Lori to run numbers.
Yes,
All right, but municipal building, we're gonna scratch because we
That's not
can't do.
happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it'll
Scratch
be
that.
just the fire truck and
And
Yeah,
how much is the highway?
that was 50,000, 35, I
Why do
believe.
we have 60 in there?
That was
That
before
was,
the numbers. This was Claire's cost calculation,
Yeah.
and Pat
Okay.
gave
Okay.
gave no
numbers
one's,
a little
but
lower.
it came down to the same thing. We're only going to fund out of stabilization, capital stabilization, 50 grand.
Now, the other thing,
Or at least that's where we left it.
feasibility study.
I-
What number do you want to use for that, Don?
I would use 10.
even with them funding 25?
Well, let me ask you this, do you want to go more? In case the 25 disappears?
I thought you were doing the full 25. That was my thought.
Yeah, we could.
Because if the state money is gone,
You want to just postpone postpone the municipal building? Because that was a point I had to bring up with you. I'm going to the school committee meeting tomorrow and on their agenda is.
Oh, they
the
canceled.
lease.
They canceled.
Oh, Did they cancel? Okay.
Email came through. today.
Still,
or even the school building.
yeah,
Municipal.
yeah, I meant the school building because I was going to go to the meeting. I haven't read my email on me.
Yep.
But,
Next Thursday.
okay, on the agenda was leases, school leases.
We meet Monday, Claire.
Pardon?
We meet this coming Monday.
Yes.
For a selectmen meeting?
Regular meeting.
Okay. So, okay, so
So 25 for the feasibility study, is that? what you were saying?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
so that means
And
that
then.
we're looking at
Or
taking
these are-
out
This is.
$220,000, 400
Possible.
from general
From-
stabilization,
Flip it.
leaving 400, about 400,000.
And then there's that. On this article, I think it was the 5% match.
Right.
It's,
Actually, I'm gonna, I'm gonna be kind of a jerk here.
For the building.
Highway truck for a second.
Oh.
Let me pull everyone in for you.
Tell us.
Claire, we got some new numbers coming at us.
No, no, those are no numbers, just a theory.
I had a question on it too, but I was holding it in.
What?
We don't have answers on the numbers tonight, but Dennis, go ahead.
Has Pat looked into possibly used instead of new?
I was thinking the same thing.
I guess
Does
the
anybody-
question you'd have to ask him, what will DOT? Because it's all in the state bid
Hmm.
that he's going by
What
for
did,
these vehicles.
what did we do when we bought the used trucks before? We bought is the green one or the blue one came from Vermont?
Yeah, that was out
I
of,
thought we paid.
And it
for
can be paid with chapter 90 use.
I don't.
I mean, I know like
no,
the,
that was under stabilization.
That came out of
Yeah, I think
stabilization.
chapter 90 has to be brand new.
I think,
Okay.
because it comes off the state bid. If you buy something from chapter 90, you can go out to bid,
Yeah,
but it's always more expensive than the state bid.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So the chapter 90 makes it difficult to try to
get used.
buy something used.
You can do it. Say you had a unique situation where you can spec out whatever that vehicle may be for your. You
Find
can't,
out.
that's what we did with the
What's that?
I said,
96
do we know that?
that
for
we want to
sure?
replace.
That it can't be.
We went
That's
out
something
bid
for
for
her
it. I
to
don't.
Look into.
We
right?
didn't
Yeah.
go off the state bid back in 95.
Is that? you
No,
know
my
that for
question
sure?
was, do we have a plan if the state engineer does not approve the full 374?
yeah, we don't get the truck.
That we're just gonna go with no? Okay,
What else do we have?
well, I'm wondering if he's gonna approach and ask for more stabilization money.
I
I would
think
have
he
to
knows
get
it's
debt,
not there.
I think debt exclusion.
I don't think we
All right.
should do that until we get an override and get some money back in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
this is
spending,
getting
spending,
scary.
spending,
Mhm.
and nothing is coming in.
Right,
I don't think the highway superintendent has any expectation whatsoever to get anything from stabilization other than
The 50.
the outfit.
The
what
50
state
grand,
paid for.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, Laurie, I'm trying to put together a real airtight case here. So we're gonna probably need some help because I'm gonna be looking at figures.
Mhm.
Because the only way we got it through the last time is we had meetings in the town
Mhm.
and publicized it and had people
Yeah.
come and we did a presentation and,
Yeah.
we had one point and we just kept hammering home that point, And it passed by the majority at the town meeting.
or you have to do
But it was,
public sessions, you have to
Yeah.
do stuff on the website, you have to put the calculators up, you have to
Yeah.
put the budgets up early so people can see what they're voting for.
yeah, and we can do the calculator so they see how it affects the
Yep.
tax, right? We had to put a lot of work into it.
Oh, yeah.
And a passed majority at town meeting, it just passed by one vote at the voting votes.
Vinny, did you have anything for new business?
No.
Claire, did you have anything for new business?
Just the fact that, if they postpone to Thursday, they're gonna ask about the lease. And I'm looking at the municipal building and I was saying that I like Dennis's idea about saying we would renew the lease with an exit clause. And then you have options before you, 'cause I don't know what's gonna happen with this building.
The school, not the municipal, didn't you say municipal?
Did I say
Yeah.
that again?
Yeah.
I'm
She
so
means the school
sorry.
for
I'm
Ocam
so
Center
sorry.
School lease
I was like, when
agreement.
did they say you're gonna
Swap it.
exit out of the municipal building?
Like, where are we going? We already own that.
Yeah, they're renewing the lease on the elementary school, and if we say we want to renew it with an exit clause, that gives us all kinds of flexibility. Because I don't know when you're going to come to a decision. I don't think you know when you're going to come to a, and you have so much on your plate right now.
I think the other option you gave us was what?
1 year.
1 year extension.
But I'm thinking you've got so much on your plate now. You have the best storage unit, you've got this stuff on it. We're talking about an override. You don't want to put too much on your plate because you dilute your efforts and then you might lose everything.
Excellent point.
So give yourself breathing room. Let's go for an exit clause.
Other than, yeah.
And Corey, do you know what Article 5 is on this?
No, they lease it from us.
We have not, it has
Okay.
not come to the board
We own it.
before.
Okay.
Yeah, we own it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brad, did you have any new business?
I don't know.
Board of Selectmen, I'd love to go to Dawn. Anything we haven't covered tonight that the FinCom should be aware of?
No, I think you've covered everything.
Thank you.
And then
Excellent.
some.
Missed the 5%.
The fiber grant.
Oh, the 5% fiber.
So the town received a grant about a little over a year ago, 172,000 and change.
Yep.
That's on the high end. If the project were to use the full 172, it's a 5% match, which would be 9,100 that the town would need to produce to meet that.
That's for the fiber.
Yeah, running fiber between all the municipal buildings.
So that's what we have to
They
annualize.
don't anticipate that it will use even probably half of that, but just preparing for the high end, it would be 90,
That's not fiber for the town residents.
No,
Totally to connect
municipal building.
buildings.
No, but it could be built off of that
Hmm.
once this is set up.
And it would be town hall, library, fire,
We've-
police.
We've had fiber optics to the telephone building since 96.
Yeah.
That's when they got rid of all the mechanical relays.
Okay.
So what's the request?
91.
91.
Yeah, I know that. Are you asking to take it out of stabilization? Is that the
Oh.
request?
I
That would
think-
be,
Well, yeah, that would be.
Yeah, we have no free cash.
All right.
Have to.
Just, you gotta be sure. I mean, you just
Sorry.
never assume.
So bearing in mind,
you want to take that out of general?
Yeah, that would come out of general.
Yeah.
It would
I
have.
think it'd be gray area if that was capital.
Yeah.
And the 25,000 for the,
What?
that would be general as well for the feasibility study?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
General, okay.
okay, I put that in, but gee, don't,
And the 9,100.
got yourself a
General.
little slack here.
so bearing in mind though, with
Well,
this,
that would be if we can get a treasurer in here by December.
That would help.
It's unrealistic, will you already?
Maribel, remind me. who
Yeah.
did we vote to do, to manage that
Capital strategic?
capital
Yeah,
strategic?
that was 2,700 bucks.
That was 27, which we think we have in the budget.
That's on top of the 9,100?
Well,
No.
No,
we're gonna charge the individual departments under the
Right.
That's
maintenance.
what I heard, yeah,
Um,
I charge them.
Yeah,
But
but
the
it's
first
not
thing
on
they're
the
gonna do is
part.
ask for an extension of the grant.
Yeah.
So if they say no,
it all
That's
goes away.
it all goes away and the 9,100 goes back to, will have to be
And we
voted
just
back
pay
to
for the
stabilization.
hour and a half from capital strategic and
Wait a minute, okay, I lost you. 90, are we taking 9,100 out of stabilization or you?
General.
General.
Excuse me, general stabilization.
And what was the number for the treasurer collector's office? I'm sorry.
I used 120,400. And I hope it's enough.
And obviously that's general as
Yeah,
well.
me too.
Wow.
Does it sound okay to you, Lori?
I have,
She's in shock.
I have never worked in a town where we've paid that much money, ever.
So it's pretty safe.
Like, I've never paid that much money.
Okay, we're safe.
All right, so
I don't think that's your point.
Dennis, thank you for reading between the lines.
I'm pretty good at reading people.
Oh, my
Did you
God.
have anything else that FinCom should be made aware of tonight?
That's 279,000,
Other than the fact
535.
that we're going down further.
Okay,
Just so you know.
and then Maribel,
I'm just saying that those
I
numbers. that
can't
we
use that at the
calculated,
presentation,
it's
Dennis.
279,535.
Yep, you'd be all right.
would you mind putting that in an email to the boards?
Yeah, I'll send these articles with the numbers to the side and then it'll
Yes.
calculate.
And Lori would love to be
Yep,
I
copied.
gave up on.
Yes,
It
okay,
was
so
after the highway truck.
we've done a lot tonight. So meeting minutes have gone out to FinCom. If you didn't check your email today, I don't think we'll take a vote on it.
Okay.
But basically take a look at
There's
it.
one number that doesn't make sense.
So the legal bill reduced by 1,400 for the annual town meeting. So basically we get one freebie.
1,400, that's,
I thought we got one freebie.
Yes, but
no, look at the number. You got too many zeros.
Oh, there's a, so 1,4, yes. So what
Oh,
we'll
it's just
do,
a typo.
yes. So we'll go and we'll take a vote on the previous meetings at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right.
And would you like to schedule the next meeting? So Board of Selectmen, do you need us back sooner than 4 weeks or is 4 weeks appropriate?
On our agenda tonight, we have
Know what that is anymore.
special
we have
town
special
meeting.
town meeting date
Hmm.
and open and close the warrant. I'm assuming that's a possible vote. Are we doing that tonight?
Not here, we can.
Yeah, we don't have the dates yet.
We gotta get going because of the treasurer collector.
Yeah,
So if on here, if I may, it says October 6th, right? So I calculated back the dates because it has to be posted at minimum 14 days prior. So the posting date, if it's October 6th, would be September 22nd. If at the next meeting, the Board of Selectmen review this, vote all the articles, which is on Monday, the 15th, then we can send it off to town council within a day or two, return and still meet the deadline. Very small window, but meet the deadline to post it no later than September 22nd.
So warrant opening the 22nd.
So the warrant can technically open tonight because it is listed on the agenda. So the board can open and close it. They can leave it open and vote it. The articles officially Monday. I mean, is the board not putting this out to the department heads as there's no free cash or anything like that? This is just capital
I think we should
urgent
open,
matters
whether we do it tonight or Monday, I think we should open and close it,
tonight.
be done with it. Whether it's tonight or
I
Monday.
said, you know, I would think that you would open in today and then you can vote on the articles officially Monday meeting and we can send it to town council.
Can I send you a summary of what we talked about tonight, so we're all on the same page?
Yes, please.
Oh,
I mean, I'd
But
like
it's
to
up to the
open and
chair.
close it.
We can open and close tonight.
Yes, and I also,
And
I can
vote on the articles Monday.
yeah, yes, and I also confirmed with town council just to make sure that we were all on the same page and there is no minimum time period that a warrant needs to be open.
No, it doesn't, but you can't change those articles after you, unless you're gonna reopen
Reopen it,
the warrant
right?
again on Monday
So you can
Yeah.
You can
close
vote to
it.
reopen it
Mhm.
and
So
close it
and
again.
Just-
reclose it.
Just for clarity, we should have, is there anything we're crossing off that list, Maribel?
I
Other
have
than
the,
one for the fire truck?
no, so on these articles that were provided by the chair, it's the treasurer collectors,
KP Law, treasurer, truck plows. Or
so if I can just run over the numbers really quick, just to make sure, $75,000 from general stabilization for town council for the best project.
yes,
$120,400 from general funds or general stabilization for the treasurer collector's office.
yes,
$50,035 from general stabilization for the highway outfitting of a truck.
no, 50,000.
50,000.
Capital,
Oh,
Capital.
capital, this one's capital. Okay,
yeah,
great.
capital,
50,035.
Capital.
$50,035.
Yep, capital.
Right,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
And then 25,000
feasibility.
general stabilization for the feasibility
mhm,
and 9,100 general stabilization for the 5% match for the municipal fiber grant.
25,000.
Fiber optics?
9,100.
9,100 for fiber optics,
25,000 for the,
So
for the
we decide-
feasibility, 9,100 for the
So we're
fiber.
not gonna pay down the fire truck, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Did I hear that?
Did
Say
we
that again?
decide that, or?
No pay down
We
the
don't
fire.
There's no way I can get you numbers
We
by
could see as
Monday.
So,
Our fiscal advisor can't even turn around numbers that fast.
so why don't we wait on that?
All right, we'll wait on that.
Yeah,
What was it, 9,100? What?
for the 5% match, which is article.
No, I
num-
know the whole number, 91.
9,100.
Was there another one?
00?
Yeah.
Number we were gonna add here.
No, I was just giving the grand total of 279,535.
What, say it again?
279,535.
Amen. Yeah, that's what I got too.
The only
Why did
thing-
I?
I'd like to
He's using our phone,
add
Using the
Dawn's
computer, so
always
we're,
good.
we're double checking each other here.
So FinCom, while they finish those numbers, how does October 7th, the Tuesday, look for you? 6:30 PM?
2,000 for general,
Works for me.
9,100.
Works for me too.
Cindy's in, Claire's
Yeah,
in,
yeah, 7 o'clock, did you say?
6:30,
6:30?
But there was nothing.
getting darker earlier.
Well,
Okay.
we discussed this also, the pay down of the.
Brad, your
municipal
last
fire
one?
truck, But that's not gonna be on here. Nope.
But, yeah, okay.
Dawn,
So
we,
we finished our agenda, so Board of Selectmen,
I'd like
go
to
for it.
add one warrant article, and that would be for accepting Deacon Allen Drive as a town road, which would get it on the chapter 90 list. And if something pops up where we don't have what we need, then we'll pass over it. But the sooner it gets on, that's 2/10 of a mile or 3/10 of a mile. That would go to your 90.
Planning board have to hold a hearing on that.
Yes, they
No,
do.
it's town property.
You're adopting it as
Yeah.
a public way.
Yeah, but it's already public.
No. It's open as invitees. It's not a public road. Otherwise,
Right, that's why it
using
needs to be on chapter 90.
it.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because I don't think it falls under the planning board, because it's not a
Just saying,
developments.
does the planning board have to approve any road acceptances other than subdivisions?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
That was all part of the architectural plans to build the addition that the town voted.
Yeah, but you're taking town property and making it a
Private.
public road.
Mhm.
No, I understand that.
I think there's gonna be a hearing. Not with us, but with,
All right, so we'll hold off on that one.
Well, there's no reason you can't put the item on.
well, put the item on and we can pass over it.
Well, that's what I was
We can
saying.
either
So-
pass over it or we can scrap it on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Well,
we-
you would
if
have to
we
reopen and close unless you could close it Monday.
check
I
with
mean,
town
if we can
council
get 2 or
on
3
this,
tenths of a mile,
On what?
Except
in
in
90 reimbursement.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. And I'll check it with town council, whether we need to have hearing or anything on that.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. And if not, we'll pass it, we'll scratch it Monday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to open and close the warrant tonight and if we have
And
to,
then I'll just put it on the agenda on Monday with open and close just in case. That way if it needs to be added, anything needs to be added or removed, you guys can technically do that.
do you want to do that, Dawn?
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to open and close the warrant tonight. A special town meeting on October 6th. Is that the date you've got?
That's the date I heard.
7 PM.
7 PM.
That'll be at the school.
Oh, yeah, where is it?
Okay.
I would say it's a school.
I would have to submit a request with the school, make sure that that date is available because there is a procedure that although it's a town building, it's in the agreement with the lease that they have to approve all, and if they have something that is kid related, that is prioritized
Do we
too.
have to name the location tonight in the motion?
Well, we can always change it Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Can change that Monday. Yeah.
Gets a okay or a nay tomorrow.
Is that at 6 PM you said?
7.
7.
Seven.
Oh, good.
Always 7.
Okay, good.
I've never seen a 6 o'clock meeting.
And then you're gonna open,
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 and the warrant is closing open and closing tonight.
Open it,
Okay.
like right now.
Currently open.
I'll make a motion, to close the warrant.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that FinCom brings their meeting to an end. This
I'll
is our
second that one.
longest ever. All right, all in
Aye.
favor? Aye.
There is a
I need-
lot to
I need
be
a verbal
covered.
vote on that. Aye.
Yeah,
All right, we
yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, this meeting is called, our meeting's called to an end at 9:01 PM. Thank you all.
It wasn't by way of a complaint. It was
Oh,
Board of Selectmen, did you close your meeting?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
I'm looking through. See what else we gotta deal with.
any old or new business?
I don't.
I don't have.
Anything that, we'll wait till Monday.
Okay.
To adjourn the selectmen's meeting of September 10th.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
9:01.
Thank you all.